Good day, students. Now consider the Bayes formula. Bayes formula. Formula or uh, hypothesis theorem. Hypothesis theorem. Bayes formula or hypothesis theorem. Bayes düsturu, Bayes. Aslında Bayes düsturu veya teorem, ele teoremdi, hypothesis, ferziyeler. Let the events B1, B2, etc., Bn are given. And let these events form the complete group of incompatible events. Complete group means that only one of events can be realized. These events are incompatible events. And let we have the event A, which can be realized only one of these events B1, B2, etc., B sub n. And it means the event A depends on each event B1, B2, etc., B sub n. In this if suppose that the event A is realized, and therefore we must find the probabilities of B sub k, where k changes from 1 to n, on the condition the event A. In this case, the events B1, B2, etc., Bn are named hypotheses. Ferziyeler. According to the total probability, we have that P of A capital is the sum for y, which changes from 1 to n, P of A on the condition B sub I multiplied by P of B sub I. It is the formula of the total probability. Total probability, tam ihtimal. Total probability. In this topic, we must find the probability of Bk on the condition of A, where k changes from 1 to n. Remember the formula of conditional probability. Conditional probability, şart ihtimal. Conditional probability. P of A on the condition Bk is equal to P of A multiplied by Bk over P of Bk. It is a product of events A and Bk. Also, it is named the superposition of events A and Bk. it is named also the intersection of the events A and BK. And also, according to the conditional probability, we have P of BK, and the condition of A equals, here we must substitute BK instead of A and A instead of BK. P of BK multiplied by A divided by P of A. We obtain the following system. Then find the superposition probabilities from both these both formulas. P of A multiplied by BK equals P of A under condition of BK multiplied by P of BK, and from the second formula we have that P of BK multiplied by A equals P of BK under condition of A multiplied by PA. It is system of the formulas. Then continue. We know that the superposition of the events of two events, and also the intersection of two events, and also the product of two events, doesn't depend on the sequence of these events. Therefore, A multiplied by BK equals BK multiplied by A. And from here, and their probabilities also are equal. P of A multiplied by BK equals P of BK multiplied by A. We have the expressions for these probabilities, and write. Therefore, we can write P of A under condition of BK, multiplied by P of BK multiplied by is equal to P of BK under condition of A multiplied by P of A. Must find the probability of BK under condition of A. From here, P of BK under condition of A equals P of A under condition of BK multiplied by P of BK divided by P of A. And also remember the formula of the total probability. P of A equals sigma. Sigma is the sum sign, yani cem işaresi from I for I from 1 to n. P of A under condition of B sub I multiplied by P of B sub I, and then substitute the last expression instead of P sub A, and finally we can obtain the base formula. P of BK under condition of A equals P of A under condition of BK multiplied by P of BK over sigma for I from 1 to n, P of A under condition of BI multiplied P of BI. Here K changed from 1 to n. It is Bayes formula, or this formula is named also the hypothesis theorem. Bayes formula. Now consider the next topic, named the discrete random variable. The discrete random variable. The discrete random variable. Random variable. Azerbaycanca diskret, tesadüfi kemiyet. Diskret, tesadüfi kemiyet. It is such a variable which can take one of values. Let we have the discrete random variable x, and this variable can take the following values: x1, x2, etc., x sub n. And suppose that the variable x takes these values correspondingly with the probabilities p1, p2, etc., p sub n. Then we can form the distributive table. Distributive table x, p, x1, x2, etc., x sub n, p1, p2, etc., pn. It is the distributive table, or the distributive law. Here we have the function p of x. P of x. This function p equals p of x. And then construct the graph of this function. This function. It is p-axis, x-axis, axis. Let it is x1, x2, x3, etc., x sub n. And then mark the corresponding probabilities. For example, it is p1, for example. Then p sub 2, then it is p3, etc., and for example it is p sub n. And connect these points. This graph is named the polygon distributive polygon. Polygon çokbucağlı. Polygon çokbucağlı. Polygon. And you see also that the maximal value of probability is reached at the point x sub 2. The maximal value of p is p2, and this value p sub 2 is obtained at the point x sub 2. Therefore, this point is named mode. The mode. Moda. Azerbaycanca moda. According to our condition, the discrete random variable x take the values x1, x2, etc., x sub n. And here the variable random variable x can take only one of these values, and the obtaining and the taking the one of values is a certain event, and you know that the probability of certain event is unit, and therefore we can have the following formula. Name the main probability equality or main probability identity. Let p of x equals x1 is p1. It is the probability of that the x will take the value x1 is p1. Then p capital of x equals x sub 2 is p little 2, etc. P capital of x equals x sub n equals p sub n. Already you know that the probability that the value discrete random variable will take one of values x1, x2, etc., x sub n is unit. P of x equals x1 or x equals x2 or etc. or x equals x sub n equals 1. You know that the union, birleşme, union of these events is also the sum of these events. Then rewrite the last equality, p of x equals x1 plus x equals x2 plus etc. plus x equals x sub n equals 1. And these events of taking the value x1, the taking value x2, etc., the taking value x sub n are the incompatible events, and according to the addition theorem, the probability of the sum of incompatible events is the sum of the corresponding probabilities. Then we have p of x equals x1 plus p of x equals x2 plus p capital of x equals xn equals 1. It is p little 1, it is p little 2 plus etc. It is p little n is 1. Then use the summation symbol sigma. It is the capital letter, Greek letter sigma, for I from 1 to n of P sub I is unit. It is the main probability, the main probability equality, or identity. Əsas ehtimal bərabərliyi və ya eyniliyi. The next topic is named the binomial distribution. The binomial distribution. Binomial distribution. Binomial distribution. Binomial paylanma. What is binomial? Binomial is iki hədli. This distribution is named the binomial one because here we will obtain the formula which is similar to the Newton binomial. And remember the formula of Newton binomial. Newton binomu a plus b to n equals sigma for I from 1 to from 0 to n of c of I from n a to n minus I multiplied by b to I. It is Newton binomial. Newton binomial. Newton binomu. Let we have the n tests or trials, n tests or trials, tests or trials, sınavlar, n sayıda sınav. And in each test, the probability of event A is P. P capital of A capital is P little. And then consider the discrete random variable for which this variable can take the values, the following values: 0 over n, 1 over n, 2 over n, etc. N over n. It means totally the n trials are realized, and if the event A is realized, is not realized, then it is then discrete random variable takes the value 0 over n. If the event A only once realized, then the discrete random variable takes the value 1 over n. If the event A is realized twice, then discrete random variable will take the value 2 over n. And if the event A is realized in all tests, in each test, then the discrete random variable takes the value n over n. Then form the distributive table. 0 over n, 1 over n, 2 over n, etc., n over n. Then p sub 0, p sub 1, p sub 2, etc., etc. etc. p sub n. Let the event A is realized in the first I tests. Then the corresponding probability is defined by the following formula: P of x if x equals I over n. In the if the event A is realized in the first E test. P. I'm sorry. P capital if x equals P of A and A and etc. and A with a line and A with a line. A with line is the opposite event of A. It means the event A doesn't occur. Baş vermek. Baş vermek, karşıya çıkmak. Let the event A is realized I times and A with line is realized or appear in the at n minus I times. And operation A and is also the multiplication of events. And according to the multiplication theorem, these cases are independent ones, and therefore, according to the multiplication theorem, the probability of superposition of the independent events is, or product of independent events is the product of the corresponding probabilities. P of A multiplied by P of A, etc. multiplied by P of A, multiplied by P of A with a line, multiplied by P of A with line, multiplied by P of A with line. I times and n minus I times. Then continue. according to the notation, P of A is P little, P little multiplied by P little multiplied by etc. multiplied by P little, I times multiplied by you know that the P of opposite event is the 1 minus P of A. P of A. You know that the given event and the opposite event form the complete group of incompatible events, and we know that the probability of the sum of incompatible events forming the complete group is unit. Therefore, P of A union A with the line is 1, and we can change the union symbol by the sum symbol, addition symbol. A plus A with line is unit, and according to the addition theorem, we have P of A plus P of A with the line is unit. And then P of A with the line equals 1 minus P of A. P of A is P little according to our notation, minus P. Therefore, P of A with line is 1 minus P. Therefore, we can write 1 minus P instead of P of A with the line. Multiplied by 1 minus P, multiplied by 1 minus P, multiply etc. Multiply 1 minus P, minus P, n minus I times equals, it is P to I multiplied by 1 minus P to n minus I. In the previous case, we suppose that the event A is realized in the first K tests, but the realization of the event A can be the event A can be realized in the other variants, and the sum of all variants is equal to the C of I out of the n, according to the combinatorics, combinatorics, and therefore we finally we can obtain the following formula. P capital when x equals I over n equals C of I out of n multiplied by P to I multiplied by 1 minus P to n minus I. And we obtain this formula. It is formula of the binomial distribution. Yeah, and here I change from 1 to n. We can verify the main probability equality. For example, P of x is 0 over n, or x is 1 over n or x equals 2 over n, or etc., or x equals n over n, equals the operation or is a union or is a sum. Therefore, we can change or by the sum symbol, addition symbol, p of x equals 0 over n plus x equals 1 over n plus x equals 2 over n plus etc. plus x over n x equals n over n equals. Then according to the addition theorem, the probability of the sum of incompatible events is the sum of the corresponding probabilities. P of x equals 0 over n plus p of x equals 1 over n plus p of x equals 2 over n plus etc. plus p of x over equals n over n. Then use this formula. C of n of 0 out of n, p sub 0 multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 0 plus, then use this for x equals 1 over n. If substitute 1 instead of I in this formula, then we will obtain the next term, C of 1 out of n multiplied by p to 1 multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 1 plus, then continue. Now substitute 2 instead of I in this formula. C of 2 out of n multiplied by p squared multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 2 plus etc. plus, and finally substitute n instead of I in this formula, and then we will obtain C of n out of n multiplied by p to n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus n. Then continue. Then rewrite the last expression in the following form: equals C of 0 out of n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 0 multiplied by p to 0 plus C of 1 out of n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 1 multiplied by p to 1 plus, continue, plus C of 2 out of n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus 2 multiplied by p squared plus etc. plus finally C of n out of n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus n multiplied p to n equals. Then use the sum symbol, summation symbol, addition symbol, sigma for I from 1 to n, C of I out of n multiplied by 1 minus p to n minus I multiplied by p to I. I'm sorry, from 0. If at first substitute 0 instead of I, then we will obtain the first term. Then if substitute 1 instead of I in this expression, then we will obtain the second term. Then if substitute 2 instead of I, then we will obtain the this expression, etc. And finally, if substitute n instead of I in this formula, in this expression, then we will obtain the last term. And then remember the Newton binomial. According to the Newton binomial formula, we have 1 minus p plus p to n. Then minus p and p are deleted. Then we have 1 to n, and it is 1. Here we already verified the main probability equality. Thank you very much.